Imagine waking up on a Tuesday morning in late 2026. You reach for your phone, but the screen is black. You flip the light switch. Nothing. You step outside and the sky isn't blue. It's a shimmering, bruised purple, pulsing with an eerie, silent light. For decades, we've joked about the apocalypse. We've watched the movies, read the books, and laughed at the doomsday preppers. But as we stand on the precipice of 2026, the laughter is dying out. The signs aren't just in ancient prophecies anymore. They are in the headlines, the executive orders, and the very atmosphere above our heads. Is 2026 the final year for humankind? From the sudden invocation of the Alien Enemies Act by the US President to the furious February solar flares that just rocked our satellites, the pieces of a terrifying puzzle are falling into place. Today on Rabbit Files, we are diving into the three shadows looming over our immediate future: the nuclear reset, the solar kill shot, and the Great Deception. Buckle up, because by the end of this video, you might realize that the end of the world isn't a theory, it's a schedule. Let's start with the most immediate threat, the nuclear shadow. In late 2025, during a shocking address to the United Nations, President Trump delivered a line that sent chills through every diplomatic mission on Earth. He said, and I quote, "If America nukes the world, there will be no UN." On the surface, it sounded like typical hyperbole. But look closer at the actions taken since then. In March 2025, the President invoked the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. This is a law that hasn't been touched since the dark days of World War II. While the official narrative says it's about foreign gangs, the legal framework it creates is terrifying. It grants the executive branch near total power to detain, deport, and seize, all under the justification that we are at war. But who are we at war with? The doomsday clock for 2026 has just been updated. And for the first time, the scientists aren't just talking about minutes to midnight, they're talking about seconds. With tactical nuclear threats becoming normalized in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, the global elite seem to be preparing for a great reset that requires a clean slate. Is 2026 the year the silos finally open? Some analysts suggest that a limited nuclear exchange is being viewed by certain shadow governments as the only way to fix the collapsing global economy. A way to erase the debt by erasing the record keepers. But what if the threat isn't from a button pushed by a man, but from a fire started by the sun? We are currently in the heart of solar cycle 25. NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory recently captured what they called the furious February flares of 2026. These weren't just pretty lights in the sky, they were warning shots. Experts have long warned of a Carrington-level event, a solar flare so powerful it would melt the transformers of our global power grid in minutes. In 1859, it just burned out telegraph wires. In 2026, it would send us back to the Stone Age. No internet, no banking, no water pumps, no supply chains. Think about the timing. Why are billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos building massive, self-sustaining bunkers in remote locations right now? Why is the US government suddenly obsessed with hardened infrastructure and continuity of government protocols. They know something we don't. The sun is waking up, and 2026 is the peak. If an X-class flare hits Earth directly this year, the end of humankind won't be a bang. It will be a long, cold silence. Mind? But here is where the rabbit hole goes even deeper. What if I told you that the nuclear threats and the solar flares are just distractions? There is a theory circulating in the highest levels of the intelligence community, one that Dr. Stephen Greer and others have whispered about for years. It's called the false flag alien invasion. Remember the Alien Enemies Act we mentioned earlier? What if the aliens the president is preparing for aren't from another country, but from another world? Or worse, what if they are aliens created in a lab by our own military-industrial complex? The plot twist is this: the end of humankind in 2026 might not be our extinction, but the end of our freedom. Imagine a staged invasion using advanced holographic technology and secret Black Project aircraft. A threat so massive, so extraterrestrial, that every nation on Earth agrees to surrender its sovereignty to a single global authority. A one-world government born out of manufactured terror. The president's recent talk about preparing for the Atlas spaceship invasion might not be a warning about a real threat. It might be the script for the greatest show ever staged. They aren't afraid of the aliens. They are the aliens. So we are left with a choice of nightmares. Will 2026 be the year the fire falls from the sky, whether from a Russian ICBM or a solar flare? Or will it be the year we are tricked into giving up our humanity to fight a ghost in the clouds? The signs are everywhere. The bunkers are built. The laws are in place. The sun is screaming. But here is the most important question. What do you think? Are we looking at the literal end of the world, or just the end of the world as we know it? Is the president trying to save us, or is he part of the performance? I want to hear from you in the comments. Have you noticed the changes in the sky? Do you believe the alien invasion is the final card they have left to play? Don't just watch, prepare, because 2026 isn't coming, it's already here. Keep your eyes on the horizon. This is Rabbit Files. You've reached the end of this file, but the tunnel doesn't end here. There are more questions, more shadows, more stories waiting in the dark. If you're curious enough to keep walking, subscribe. If you're brave enough to question reality, follow. Because once you step into the Rabbit Files, you don't just watch, you observe. New files open soon. Stay aware, stay curious, and don't look back.